I woke up in a house that's apparently mine, but I've never been here in my life. I don't know what subreddit this belongs to. r/glitch in the matrix, r/unresolved mysteries, r/no sleep. Honestly, I don't care anymore. I just need to put this somewhere before I lose my fucking mind. Here's the situation. I'm 26. Name's Matt. Nothing crazy about me. I live in Portland. I work IT support from home. I have a girlfriend, 2 cats, and an unhealthy addiction to Monster energy drinks and DoorDash. My life is boring, stable, predictable. Or it was. Last Thursday, I went to bed in my apartment, in my IKEA bed after watching reruns of Parks and Rec and eating leftover pad thai. I remember brushing my teeth. I remember setting my alarm for 7:30. I remember texting Rachel goodnight. Then, nothing. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in this place. At first, I didn't even realize anything was wrong. You know that half-asleep grogginess where nothing feels weird because your brain hasn't booted up yet? That was me. I was in a bed, a big bed, in a bright, high-ceilinged room. It felt clean, expensive, smelled like citrus and leather. I thought, hotel? Then I looked around. This wasn't a hotel. This was a whole-ass house. Like a house. Hardwood floors, framed art, a glass desk with an iMac, floor-to-ceiling windows. I got up, still in the same clothes I went to sleep in, and started walking around like a dude in a VR simulation. The kitchen was stocked. There was cold brew in the fridge, almond milk, a half-eaten apple pie on the counter. I opened the drawers. Silverware was arranged by type, size, and shine. The coffee mugs had my initials on them, MT. I don't even drink coffee. Then I found the office. It had a corkboard covered in sticky notes with my handwriting. There was a framed diploma on the wall from a university I never went to. A photo of me shaking hands with someone I've never seen before. My name underneath, Matthew T. Ellis, Senior Data Architect. I just stared at it for a full 5 minutes, heart pounding, feeling like the world was trying to gaslight me. This is where I should have called the cops, or anyone, but I didn't. I froze. My brain was playing catch-up while I kept walking through my house like a ghost in someone else's life. And here's the kicker. My phone worked, but the lock screen was different. New wallpaper, some nature scene I'd never picked, and no text from Rachel. Actually, no text at all. I opened contacts. I didn't recognize half the names. The other half were blank or initials. There was one familiar name, my mom, but when I called her, it went straight to voicemail. Her voice was different. Older? Or tired. I called again, same result. Okay. Maybe I'd been drugged. Maybe this was an elaborate prank. Maybe I had a mental break and wandered into someone else's house. So I tried the front door. It opened. It was my neighborhood, but not. I mean, the street layout was close, but none of the cars looked familiar. The sky was too bright. The birds made different sounds. I walked 2 blocks and didn't recognize a single thing. I passed a grocery store I swear has never existed. The logo looked off. The name was Harvest Plus, and they sold bananas for $3.99 per single fruit. What kind of capitalist hell is that? I went back inside. I started opening every cabinet, every drawer, every closet. Everything screamed me. The taste, the aesthetics, the gadgets. There was a record player I've wanted for years. There were shoes I dreamed of affording. Hell, even the underwear in the dresser was my size, my brand. And then, the photos. Dozens of them. Me with people I've never met. Me smiling at a wedding I don't remember. Me holding a baby. Me on a boat. Me in a tuxedo with a woman I swear to God I have never seen before. A tall, brunette woman in a red dress leaning into me like she knew me. There was one photo that really got me. A picture of me and Rachel, or someone who looked almost like her, but her hair was longer, eyes darker. Her name, handwritten on the frame, Marcy. It made my stomach drop. I'm going to stop here for now. I haven't even gotten to the mirror thing, or the guy in the black van, or the email I found in the drafts folder. But I need to know, has this happened to anyone else? Did I slip timelines? Am I dreaming in a coma somewhere? I'm scared to go to sleep tonight. What if I wake up somewhere else? I'll post part 2 if I'm still here tomorrow.
Okay, here's the promised update. Some folks suggested I'm lucid dreaming. Others said schizophrenia. A few mentioned alternate timelines, parallel universes, MK Ultra bullshit, etc. But here's the thing. This is real. It feels real. Pain is real. Hunger is real. I slept on that bed last night, and I dreamed. And when I woke up, I was still here. Same house. Same fake life. Same feeling that none of this is mine. But all of it has my fingerprints. Let me walk you through what happened yesterday. It gets weirder. After I finished the first post, I decided to check the computer in the home office. Brand new iMac, super fast, no password. Desktop full of documents and folders with names like Q4 Forecast, SimLife Progress Reports, and MT Private. I opened the private folder. There were dozens of videos, all timestamped over the last 18 months. Every single one featured me. Same face, same voice, different clothes. In one, I was in a hotel room. In another, I was in a lab, wearing a badge and talking into the camera like I was reporting something to someone higher up. One of the videos started with, "If you're watching this, you got pulled early. Protocol failed. Stay in place and avoid mirrors. Do not attempt contact." I had to pause it. I was shaking. Like full body, can't catch my breath shaking. Pulled? From where? Protocol? Avoid mirrors? What the hell is going on? So I did the one thing every horror movie says not to do. I went to the bathroom mirror. At first, nothing. Just me, scruffy and exhausted. Same face I've had since high school. But then, I leaned in. Something felt off. I blinked. My reflection didn't. I swear to you, my reflection didn't fucking blink. I staggered back, heart in my throat, and for a second, just a split second, the reflection smirked. Like it knew. Like it was waiting. I ran out of the bathroom, slammed the door shut, and covered the mirror with a towel. Since then, I've been avoiding reflective surfaces. I can't trust them. Then there's the guy in the van. Around 3 p.m. yesterday, I noticed the black van parked across the street. Completely unmarked, tinted windows, engine idling. Just sitting there. I watched from behind the blinds. No one got out. No one went in. It didn't move for hours. Around dusk, I stepped outside to take out the trash and get a better look. I swear I could feel eyes on me, like heat through glass. And as soon as I stepped off the curb, the van drove off, slow and silent. I don't know who they were. Government? Private surveillance? Something worse. I just know they were watching me. And they knew I knew. Last thing. And this is the part that made me almost throw up. The email. I logged into the inbox on the iMac. The address was something I didn't recognize, but I guessed the password from a sticky note. Mellis 2077. There was one draft, unsent, time-stamped from 2 days ago. Subject: You're not supposed to be here. Body: If you're reading this, you're me. Or what's left of me. They rotated the environment early. You came in on accident. The test wasn't finished. Don't trust the woman. Don't open the red folder. Stay away from the mirrors. If you want to survive, find the lighthouse. The real one. Coordinates: 45.9821, comma, negative 123.919. Go now. I plugged those coordinates into Google Maps. They point to a section of Oregon's coast. Completely remote. Middle of nowhere. Closest town is like 30 miles inland. There's no road that leads directly there. But there is a lighthouse. An old one. Abandoned. So now I have a decision to make. Either I stay here and keep pretending to be someone I'm not. Someone I apparently was in some alternate version of my life. Or I get in the Audi parked in this stranger's driveway. Yep, keys were in the drawer, registered to Matthew T. Ellis. And I drive 3 hours west into the woods to chase some cryptic warning from a version of me that may not even exist. Honestly, I'm leaning Lighthouse. Because every second I stay here, this place feels more like a trap, like it's adjusting to me. I found a new photo this morning, one that wasn't there yesterday. It's me and the brunette woman again. She's kissing my cheek. We're in front of the same lighthouse from the coordinates. Only this time, I'm smiling. And my eyes? They don't look like mine. I'll update if I make it there. If I don't, I hope someone finds this.
Final update. I followed the coordinates. Nothing could have prepared me for what I found there. Okay, I'm writing this from a motel room near the coast. I don't know how long I've got, so I'll keep this as clear as I can. I made it to the lighthouse. It's real. Everything is real. And I don't know who or what I am anymore. The drive. Leaving the house felt like escaping a velvet-lined prison. Everything was too perfect. Even the air felt curated, like breathing inside a commercial. I half expected the neighbors to glitch out and T-pose in the street. The Audi started without issue. The GPS was already set. No joke. The car already knew where I was going. As I pulled out, I looked back at the house one last time. Someone was standing in the window, watching me. I don't know who it was. I didn't stay to find out. Into the Pines. The drive took just under 3 hours. As I got further west, things started warping. Not dramatically, not Hollywood style, just subtle. Trees that were too symmetrical, birds that circled and never landed, a gas station with a bathroom that had no reflection in the mirror. None. I didn't stop. I followed the route all the way to a narrow forest road. No signs, no people. Eventually the GPS gave up and said, "You have arrived." Ahead of me, a trail. Old, overgrown, but walkable. I followed it. The lighthouse. It's real. Rusted white paint, door hanging crooked, windows blown out. It looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. But the door was open. Inside, dust. Silence, cold. And in the center of the main room, a chair facing a full-length mirror bolted to the wall. It was the only thing not covered in grime. Clean. Polished. Waiting. On the chair, a note. Sit. Watch. Don't blink. I hesitated. Every nerve in my body screamed no. But I sat. And I watched. The reflection. At first, it was just me. Tired, dirty, scared. Then it changed. The figure in the mirror stood up while I was still sitting. I couldn't move. It was me. Exactly me. But something was wrong. The eyes. Too wide. The smile. Too calm. He looked at me like I was the copy. Like he was the original. Then he spoke, but not with his mouth. In my head. You weren't supposed to wake up. We pulled too soon. The environment hadn't formed yet. You're a risk. I tried to stand. I couldn't. This version was meant for study, containment, not you. He stepped closer to the mirror. Now that you've seen this, you can't go back. What happened next, everything flashed white, like a detonation of memory. I saw everything, or versions of everything. Me in different clothes, different jobs, different women. One version of me was bald and rich. Another was missing an eye. One was in a hospital bed. And this one was watching from a dark corner, smiling. I realized something awful. I'm not the original. Or maybe none of us are. We're just fragments. Copies. Lives being tested in environments. Versions of a person split across timelines to see what works, who breaks, who conforms. We're rats in a beautiful maze, and some of us are starting to notice. The exit. I blacked out. When I woke up, I was in the woods, alone. No lighthouse behind me, just trees. The audio was gone, my phone dead, my pockets empty. I walked for hours until I found the road. Hitched the ride with a trucker who didn't ask questions. Got dropped off at a motel that takes cash. And now I'm here, writing this on a borrowed laptop, stealing Wi-Fi from the donut shop next door. So what now? I don't know. I don't know if you're real. I don't know if I am. I don't know if this post will stay up or vanish like the lighthouse. But here's what I do know. Check your mirrors. Watch your photos. See if new ones appear. If someone who looks like you tells you to stay in place, run. And if you ever get pulled into a version of your life that feels just a little too smooth, get out fast. Something is building something using us. Versions of us. Simulations, dimensions, doesn't matter. Just don't sit in the chair. Don't let the reflection smile first. This account is now inactive. If I post again, it's probably not me.